what's up? So it's Friday the 24th, and I'm actually leaving the house this weekend. There is a super exciting book signing only like an hour away from me, and I've never been to a book signing before, so I'm really excited. Isabel Ibanez, her debut novel, Woven in Moonlight. I read it, gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. This is part of her tour. But the real kicker now is that Shelby Mahurin and Margaret Rogerson are going to be there. What? And in case you don't know, Shelby Mahurin wrote Serpent and Dove. That was on my top 10 list last year. And then Margaret Rogerson wrote Sorcery of Thorns. That's also on my best of 2019 list. So to say that I'm pumped is pretty much an understatement. I don't know if you can hear the rain at all. If I edit right, hopefully you can't. But we're not letting that stop us. It's just after 3 now. The event starts at 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave here in a minute just to give myself time to like get some coffee, get to the bookstore and like take a look around because I've never been there before. Plus that'll give me time to kind of suss out the situation, get the book, get a decent spot in line, make sure it's not gonna be too crowded. I just realized that the bag I was gonna carry my books in has a big rip in it, so that's cute. But since it was raining, I put my books in these book sleeves. Now this one obviously has Sorcery of Thorns in it because it's a Sorcery of Thorns quote. Yeah, I know, I'm really cool. And then this book sleeve I got from someone off of Facebook. Do you know who that is? Guesses in 3, 2, 1. It's Juden Carden, and my heart is soaring. But in here is Serpent and Dove. Hopefully I can get these both signed. Okay, I made it. There was a pretty nasty looking accident and I was in traffic for a little bit. But it's just before 5 and I'm already here. This place looks huge. So I'm about to go see what's going on in here. Like, there's actually a good parking lot, so I'm like parked right by the door pretty much. So I'm excited. Let's go in here, find a bathroom, get some water, get settled. Oh yeah, and buy another copy of Woven in Moonlight. So I read it because I got the Book of the Month edition, but like I'm gonna buy like the actual edition because first of all, it's gorgeous. Like, there's a little difference between Book of the Month editions. Like, it's not always quite the same. So I'm gonna get one here, support this bookseller, and get a new one for the author to sign. I'm a hot, sweaty mess because I was so nervous, but I'm so proud of myself. All 3 books got signed and I got to talk to each of the authors. They were all so sweet, and not to pick favorites, and I loved all of them, but Shelby Mahurin is like gorgeous and like hilarious. So I have an hour drive to get back home. Probably gonna need to stop to get gas because I have like a quarter of a tank right now. And I'm thirsty, so we need to do that. I'll probably wait till I get home to actually eat dinner because I just want to get home first. I will say I'm glad I got pretty close to the frontage of the line so I didn't have to wait long. I had a lot of fun listening to the authors talk, but those little chairs were not the most comfortable, and after about an hour I was like, alright, I need to stand up and get off of this chair. But I'll check in with you guys later. I'm being weird now. Obviously, I'm back home. We're back on the couch. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but Jess from Peace Love Books was actually at the signing. I saw her walk in and like instantly knew it was her, like not in a stalker way. Like, not to sound weird, but like she looks exactly how she does in her videos, which is why I recognized her right away. Me on the other hand, you might catch me on a good or bad day and be like, who's she? No, I got to say hi to her and that was really cool. I didn't do like any pictures or anything because I wasn't gonna just shove my camera in her face because I feel like that would be weird. Just want to give you the rundown on a couple experiences before I flip it to the footage of the authors actually speaking. Hearing them talk was a lot of fun. They all had really cool stories. Isabel actually spent a good part of her childhood in Bolivia, like every summer. And there was a sloth in her backyard. Like, how cool and adorable is that? But I got to talk to each one of them when they signed my books, and I told Margaret Rogerson, like, thank you for writing Nathaniel so unapologetically bisexual, like, how much that meant to me. And she actually told me that she had more, like, bits in the story that talked about it, but she had to cut some stuff, and she said she wishes that it had stayed in. But I feel like it was enough because, like, that's not what the story was about. But the fact that there was anything in there about that was amazing. Then the next one to sign my book was Isabel. So I actually said her name wrong earlier. She said it's Isabel Ibanez. And when I got to talk to her, I just let her know how gorgeous the book cover was, which she created. I can't remember if I said that, or I think I have a clip where she's talking about that actually. Which I don't know if you can tell in this lighting, but I actually kind of did my makeup to match the book. I don't know. I used the Conspiracy palette, which I haven't used on camera or shown. But anyways, like some green and the silver. It's a little something. But this edition is beautiful. Like the Book of the Month one is nice and it has like that velvety, buttery kind of cover. But I don't know if you can tell, but there's like all the like writing and the stars. There's all these like reflective silver accents, which on the Book of the Month edition are just plain white. Oh yeah, and then, okay, so last to sign my book was Shelby Mahurin. And I had to ask her what the tea on Blood and Honey was, because when they were talking, she said something like, yeah, and it'll be coming out this fall, hopefully. And like, it's slated to come out September 1st, so I needed to know what that was about. I told her, so what's the tea on that, because I need it in my life. Basically, it's written, but the like publishing process hasn't been moving as fast. Like, she had a baby, life happens, all that. But she was super nice. They were all super nice. And I also got to tell her that I loved her lipstick because she had this like really cool looking like copper shimmer like liquid lipstick on, and it was gorgeous, and it matched her shirt. Like, she is aesthetic goals, and I told her that her Instagram is flawless too. Yeah, I think that's about all for that. Let me show you what they wrote in my books. Oh yeah, I did pick up this super cute bookmark there because, I mean, why not? That bookstore was really cool and had a ton of stuff, actually. Serpent and Dove, I peeked at this one already, I can't even lie. For Andrea, Spread Your Magic. Ah, love that. I'll save Isabel's for last. Sorcery of Thorns, what did she write? To Andrea, always be polite to books. Oh, love that. And that's the quote that's on the book sleeve. How cool. Oh yeah, look, trash, shoes, whatever. Okay, and what did Isabel write? Oh, there's the little sticky note so they knew our name. What? Oh, girl, I need to learn how to draw a moon. To Andrea and Seize the Night. Oh. Clearly she designed it, so this was like really her handwriting, because this looks, it's the same kind of handwriting. But this and the little moon was not in there, so she did that. Oh my god, how cute. Oh yeah, when I talked to her, I told her how much I loved, as I was reading this story, like looking at this cover and finding like all the little animals that were mentioned, because like everything about this cover has significance in the story. No spoilers, I'll just tell you that. I can't believe I was actually like a social human and spoke to people today. Like, who am I? That was a lot. Now I need to sleep for like 20 years to get over it. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night and leave you with the footage that I did get from the talk. It's mostly of Isabel talking about the story in general and how she came up with her ideas. I didn't film everything because that would be a lot. I didn't film a ton, but I wanted to get some of her actually talking about the story, not all like the personal stuff and other things they were talking about. And as you'll be able to see from my shoddy camera work, it was a little awkward. I was in the front row, kind of to the side, so I was just kind of low key, had my camera kind of in front of me. Like, I didn't have a tripod or anything, obviously, so it's shaky as heck, just like this whole video's been. Sorry if I made you sick. Alright, that's it for me. Enjoy the footage from the signing. Subscribe to see some more cool stuff. Check out some other videos. Social media is linked below. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
So, unfortunately, Bolivia has this long history. It is kind of tragic, but it's about different warring peoples conquering each other. And then, of course, you have the Spanish who came in and committed lots of atrocities and horrendous things. So I wanted to, as I was writing it, because, you know, I have my father who grew up in the Amazon, and then I have my mom descended from all these Spanish people. I wanted to, when I was drafting this book, I wanted to talk about Bolivian history and kind of also parallel it to what is going on politically currently and still happening right now. And so you have the illustrians, and they're meant to be the people who were Spanish and came in the conquered. And then you have the Yaxans, which is were inspired by the Incas. There's a third set of people, and they were conquered by the Incas, but they don't play a part in the book until the second one. Yeah, so then when I was thinking about these two warring people, I gave everybody their own kind of magic, but the magic, I wanted it to feel familiar because Bolivia, when you go there, there's still this kind of rich reverence for the earth and for Inti, the sun god. And I mean, you go to La Paz, which is like one of the highest cities in the world, and you can go to the witches market. It's a mercado de las brujas, and you can literally find people who are still practicing these old kind of religion and faith and traditions. And so I really wanted to make sure that when I was writing Women in Moonlight, that it felt familiar to Bolivians when they were reading it. Yeah. And it's awesome. So like the Illustrians draw their magic from the moon, Luna. Yes. Luna. Yes. And then the action is so it's Earth, and so it's Pachamama. And then also the sun god Inti. And so it should feel very earthy and celestial, but it all kind of derives from this appreciation and respect for nature. And we have our main character, Jimena. Yes. Okay, who literally, her gift is the ability to weave with moonlight. And so when I was thinking about her, I knew that she was going to be illustrian because I wanted to write about a character who had the most opportunity for change and growth. A character that had options and choices and was in the position to make them, and it would mean consequences, larger consequences and repercussions. And so when I was thinking about this character, I felt like she was carrying a lot of this mission and this revolution in, you know, the whole story is about that. And so I wanted to give her this artistic ability to weave, which is very Bolivian. And when I was picturing her weaving, I felt like, and with the moon kind of surrounding her, and it's lovely and tranquil, and I started imagining what would it be like if the moon and it like the moonlight turned into, you know, wool that she could use for her tapestry. Super whimsical and beautiful.
The thing that she does with her weaving, I really wish I could talk about it, but I think it would be a spoiler because it happens.
No, you can't.
Later.
Oh, yes, it does happen later. That's what you're talking about.
It's so wonderful. If you are an animal lover, you will love this so much. If you love like magical animal companions, you will love this so much. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't. It's such a wonderful sloth.
Sloth.
Sloth. If you love sloths, which I know many of you do, you will love this book. It's just such a wonderful. I really wish I could talk about it, but I don't want to spoil the delight that everyone will feel upon reading this part of the book.
That part was whimsical again. Yes, the whimsical is Isabel. That's her.
Oh, yeah.
So, like beyond the magic, one of my favorite things about Woven in Moonlight was El Lobo.
Oh,
the
yes.
wolf.
Yes.
He is a masked vigilante. Like, what inspired you to put a character like that in this book?
Besides
Was it
them being
Zorro?
super fun.
It was Zorro, right?
Yes. I mean, Antonio Banderas and Zorro.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I really wanted to write about a person who wanted to remain anonymous. I thought that was really cool and interesting.
Very attractive.
And
also.
yes, okay, attractive. I totally admit it.
Like mysterious.
Yeah, mysterious.
Yes.
I like how you said that. Yes, mysterious. So I wanted to write a character like that because not only are they fun to write, but I wanted to explore the choice to do something anonymously, but for it to still be a very loud action that has consequences. And at the time that I was writing Woven in Moonlight, there was a lot that was happening in Bolivia politically. I've had family and lots of people that took to the streets to protest various things. And but there were so many, like thousands of people that I would never know their name. I would never see their face. So El Lobo to me sort of started to represent a lot of these nameless, faceless people who were doing brave things that I never get to meet and kind of represent that political turmoil in Bolivia. And, again, he's super cute. So.
I know, I love how I'm like, he's super cute. And you're like, no, Shelby, let me explain why I actually wrote this character.
This is totally random, but I was so obsessed with movie Zorro when I was a kid.
Thank you.
I
was too.
Yes.
I had every line memorized.
So she designed her own cover. She designed this, and I don't know, I'll just tell you, that does not happen in this industry. It does not happen. We don't have hardly any say in our covers at all. Like a publisher will be like, what color don't you want on the cover?
I literally know nothing about my covers until they send me the final
Yes,
version.
that's
The final
how it
version?
is.
Final
Yeah.
version. Yeah, I don't know
Wow.
anything.
So it's a huge
Yeah.
deal that you got to do this. Do you want to speak a little bit about how you went about how this happened?
Yes. I still really can't believe that it happened the way that it did. But my editor emailed me one day and she said, "Hey, do you know of any Bolivian artists that we could hire to design the cover?" And I kind of sat there like, well,
I know one.
yes. I am Bolivian. I am an artist. Can I do it? And seriously, I had no idea if this would be okay or not or whatever. So I emailed back. I said, "Here's my portfolio. Maybe you will like it." And then other people's names, but my name was at the top. No. And so then she said, "Okay, yes, we love your portfolio. Go for it. Do it." And then after that, I was like, "Oh, awesome. Maybe not so much. Now I actually have to sit down and design it." And actually, I'm really thankful for the years of, I was a greeting card designer. So I was really thankful for all the experience that I was able to bring into the process of designing the cover. But really, I carried a kind of image of this cover, and I sat down and I did it, and I loved it. And before thinking about it, before sending it to anybody else, I colored it, and then I sent it to Ashley, my editor, and immediately hit send and was like, "Oh crap, what did I do to myself?" Because did not test that out on anybody, probably should have, oh well. And she came back and she said that she loved it. And so the cover that you're holding in your hands, that's really what it's been from day one. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks.
Can you reveal to us whether you are doing the cover for?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So there's a companion novel to this. If I can't say spoilers, but there's something that happens at the end of this one that is kind of leading into a character who seems to have a very interesting story ahead of them.
Yes, perilous, if you will. Yes.
So you mentioned that your father is from the rainforest, from the jungle.
Yes.
And so that
Born and raised.
in the setting of written in Starlight.
Which is the companion. Yeah. Yes, so I
Tell them what you told
we
me.
can talk about my dad. Do you guys want to hear about my dad? He's really cool.
Grew up in the Amazon.
My father, he's this really interesting person, but he was born and raised in the Amazon. And in a little town that was inaccessible by road, and to go anywhere, he had to go by river in a canoe that he built himself. The stories that he has are completely wild. He once told me about a black caiman who was just following him on the river behind his little canoe. I'm like, what do? Are you preparing for death? Like, what? I just don't understand. Cannot fathom growing up here super safe, like with my duvet cover. And he's like traipsing through this Amazon River, and there's this caiman, like this alligator, following him. I could not believe it. But he grew up with these just incredible stories of growing up in the jungle, and I have been dying to write about it because it's part magic and part horrifying. Some of the stuff that can happen to you in this place. I mean, a poisonous frog might jump on you, and okay, there you go, you're dead. So this Raymond Starlight, it follows Woven in Moonlight by Wendy, and it's about a character who does show up in Woven in Moonlight. And they have a role. It's kind of important, but they don't take up a lot of space in the story. And so this book, Written in Starlight, it follows their journey and their attempt to survive this jungle, heavily inspired by the Amazon.
What I love about that is that I can see how you wouldn't necessarily need to read Woven in Moonlight first.
Yes.
It could just be totally like something else and generally into it.
Totally. You can read it on its own. I would, again, prefer not. Don't do that. I would prefer that you read Woven in Moonlight first. Yeah. But yeah, you could read them on their own.
I do have an important question.
Oh, gosh.
Is there a slaw? Is there no slaw?
No, but there is a very interesting butterfly.
I will accept that.
I love that play. Yeah. Maybe not might show up on the cover.
Ooh. I'm very excited about that.
All right, Isabel, I know that you are an avid romance reader.
Mm-hmm.
Avid, yes. So obviously every book that you write is going to have romance in it.
Love stories.
Love stories.
I love love.
And there's a love story in Woven in Moonlight. Yeah, it's not just like the really heavy. Even though the roses that get kind of heavy. not like the way, not like the physical side of heavy. We don't like a little heavy on that. You're making me blush. Sorry. So talk a little bit about the romance without spoiling.
Okay, I won't. Oh gosh, no spoilers. Okay. One of my favorite tropes is the enemies to lovers. Who likes that? Yes, you all are great. Okay. And everybody who doesn't like that, you're also great too. But what are you thinking?
She says, I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
I know, I really am not, but it's the best. So I really wanted to write an enemies to lovers romance. And the reason why is that because the story felt like the perfect place to kind of experiment with that. I actually think that trope is the hardest one to write because you have to establish, okay, this person is on this side. This person is on this side. How do you start breaking down their walls? How, if they are so passionate and they have conviction, how do you get them to the middle where they can actually start listening to each other? And once they start listening to each other, when is that exact moment that turns into respect? So I absolutely wanted to do that. And then, and then I paired it with like that slow burn, which is another favorite of mine. And so I just liked this idea of putting two people together who do not see eye to eye whatsoever, who are very passionate about their own opinions, but then also can kind of start exploring what it would look like to see the perspective, a different perspective.
That was beautiful.
I mean, you kind of do that in Serpent and Dove.
I was thinking like you guys both deal with the
enemies
same.
and lovers. It can be tricky to like tread the line.
Yes, for sure.
It can't happen too fast, but
no, not too fast.
Yeah, there has to be that like transformative moment where they see the love interest as a person and not as like a cause almost.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like a banner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
And you both in your books deal with that sort of moment of discovery of like identity. It's in different ways, like with El Lobo when she finds out who El Lobo is, and then in Serpent and Dove when Reed finds out that Lou is a witch. Like there's that moment of like sort of
Oh no! Oh no! What have I done?
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Really now.
I just love that part of the trope. Like if it has like a reveal of some kind, and I'm a sucker for that. I love that you both delivered that to me so deliciously.
You're welcome.
It's a fun moment.
I was only thinking of you, Margaret.
We wrote it specifically for you.
Thank you so much. Guys.